Hey everyone, welcome back to the Felty Palette. I am Larissa and today I'm going to continue working on Buster the dog. I'm very excited because today I actually get to start working on all these wrinkles on his forehead. I've been looking forward to working on that. So let's get started. You can see I've laid out an assortment of colors that I think I might need today. I usually just lay out the colors that I think I see or think I might want to mix with. I'm not going to go through them all. There are a lot. They're basically the same colors that we've been working on with the addition of this kind of a mauve purple. I've got a little pink here. I pulled them out, and also this kind of a burgundy color. I pulled these out because in his head here and a little bit on his cheek, the color in my reference photo kind of changes a little bit there, and I'm not entirely sure what colors I'm seeing, but I thought that there might be some purples reflecting in there, so that's why I pulled these out. We'll see as we go. All right. So I want to lay in just a little bit of a line for the wrinkles. Most of them have been covered over when we felted in the base for his coat, but that's why I do still keep a sketch printed out that I can see where the lines should be. So I'm just referencing that while I lay them out. I have this is just a leftover mix of an assortment of browns. I'm just going to use this to lay out where I think those lines are. So there's one part of a wrinkle along here. Okay, and that's a little more than I need, so I'm just going to pull the rest out. This one here needs a little bit more as well. There we go. And this one I'm going to just change the angle it's on a little bit. Just that one. So there's another right along here. I just lay this, just kind of lay it in place for now. I feel like there's another one in here, but I might, yeah, I'll just put a little bit in. It's very faint, so I wasn't sure if I wanted to put it in at this point, but I think I will, just lightly. And I'll build it up from here, but I want a light line in just to indicate where it's going to be. And now we need to come in along here a little bit for that wrinkle. Don't think that's in the right spot. It should come down more like this. It's the nice thing about wool. You can kind of reposition things as you're working through. If you feel like you put it in the wrong spot, you just pick it up and move it. Paint can't do that. Maybe it can. I don't really know. I'm not very good with paint. All right, I'm going to put another line right along here and also one along here. Start with this one first. And then the one in between. I'm actually going to start this one back at the top of his head to start adding a bit of a shadow in there. I don't quite like that, but we'll adjust. I feel like, I don't know if this is just some shading along here or if that's part of a wrinkle. We'll just add a little bit of line. So now I want to lighten up. There's a pale highlighting on the tops of the wrinkles along here and then along this little ridge and a little bit right here. I think so. This pale color looks actually pretty close, but I don't want to use it on its own. So I'm going to take a small amount of this and I think a little bit of this golden. I'm just blending these two colors together. I could just use this pale, but I feel like mixing it with the color that it's going over top of will make for a nicer transition. So I'm going to start going along here. Not sure what this is. It's just kind of a bit of a ridge shape above his eye, mixed with some wrinkle. I think I've picked a color that's... The color I've picked is right. It's just too thin. It needs to be a little bit more dramatic. So my earlier plan of mixing it in with that golden color is actually detrimental in this case. It's all right. So we'll just take some of this color all on its own after all. Sometimes it's just experimenting to see what you think is going to work. You might think to do one thing, you put it down on the canvas, and it doesn't quite look right. I'm going to continue building up along here, because it needs to be quite a bit lighter than I thought it needed to be. Now, butt it up against this light bit as that line I mentioned that I saw. So I feel like I need to enhance that a little bit. Just, I want to tone this down by mixing it in with the golden, because on its own, whatever this assortment is too strong. So I'm mixing it in with the golden. Placing that just along the edge of that pale highlight that I put in. Okay, so now I'm going to take some more of this pale yellow, and I'm debating if I want to mix it in with this. This is not white, this is a very pale pink. Or I could mix it in with this actual pink. My gut says I want to use that richer pink, but my gut says to use this pale one. So we're going to go with that first. And I'm just going to mix the colors together. They're hardly very different at all, those two pale colors. You may not even really tell what's going on until I put the darker color in with it, because I'm planning on putting almost another darker purpley gray against it, and I think the colors will pop a little bit better then. I'm just gonna, this is the eyebrow ridge, I guess. I don't know what the actual anatomy would be. Now, I'm noticing one thing I didn't do. Earlier when we were working on his eyes, and I ended up building the eye out past my sketch line, what I wasn't considering at the time is how it was going to adjust or affect the adjustment of the rest of the sketch as well. So this kind of dark spot right here is actually kind of in the wrong spot. It needs to come up a bit higher to support the rest of this eye ridge here. Okay, so now I'm going to take just a little highlight along here. This is still that pale pink and pale yellow mixture. Now I do want to start building this up, and I'm going to use, the colors are all sticking together. So this looks like, pretty sure that's my natural dark, but it's got some, I don't even know, there's a lot of colors in here. I need to mix this with something to make it ever so slightly darker. Do I want to mix it with this? This is a black. I don't like mixing directly with black. What do we got here? It's the same color as that. Alright, we're going to go with a tiny little bit of black here, because I apparently didn't bring out a darker brown right now. It's not dark enough. This is my chocolate. I guess we need a little bit of chocolate out. I'll just put that there. And I'm going to take some and mix that in. That's getting better. Just mix these colors together now. My assortment. Okay, tiny little wisps. And just start that looks better. There we go. But now I'm going to do the same thing on this side too. Here we go. Okay. And we're going to build up I don't want to lose some of the highlights that I have underneath, so I've kind of spread this out where I'm putting it down. And as I get closer up here and bringing the fibers closer together, almost forming a triangle, they'll be more dense at the top, less dense at the bottom. And that just blends it in a little bit better. Okay, that's too thick. I think I need a darker color after all. So this is my natural dark. And I want it to be a very thin line. So I've rolled it. I don't really like this. Alright, that's okay. Okay, let's get back to over here. So this needs to be a little bit orange. Fading up to a tiny highlight here. I'm going to use my pink and yellow mix. Really, really, really fine. I'm not sure if I've picked out, I guess I'll use this. This is where I'm going to bring some of this rust color in. Tiny amount with some of this golden, this is a darker golden color. So now start putting this here. Ooh. I'm going to take, this is a mixture of the pale yellow with a couple of strands of something else. I want to layer it over top here, kind of in between this orange and that pale, just to blend it a little bit better. I have to remind myself to step back and look at the picture as a whole at times, because you can focus too much on a detail and miss everything around it. Okay, so this, bring that, angle it down a bit, and then adjust that one up to kind of follow a shape together. I need to add a bit of a shadow here. Very pale. Some more of this pale highlight color to bring it up here. And I'm going to put a little bit right along here. Now between this highlight and this highlight, that's too dark. But I also don't want it to be as bright as the highlight. So I'm going to take some of this highlight color and mix it in with this pale yellow just a little bit. And I'm going to leave it loosely gathered so that you can see the colors in between and just blends together. Okay, need to bring these shadows in his wrinkles darker. And there's definitely some pinks and purples up here, which is what I'm looking forward to. I'm going to start with this dark one just to establish the shadows. This is, I don't know what it's officially called. It's a burgundy of some kind. And I'm just loosely rolling it. I want to put that right into the darkest parts of the shadows. Just a tiny bit of it right here. Okay, and then the same right along here. So that's a little darker than what I want there, but I'm going to leave it for now because I think that I'm going to build up some other colors around it. It's too much there, so I just pull it off. So this here is going to have to be lightened up, but I'm going to leave that for now because I want to focus on getting these details, these wrinkles all sorted out. They are going to be a challenge for me. There's so many colors, so many things going on in here. So now I'm going to bring some of this pale pink. I want some truffle. Do I have some? There it is. To tone it down a little bit. So just blending these two together. Okay, so this is not the right color yet. I need to make it a little bit darker. So I need to put some yellow in here. I think I need some more gray in here, some more of this truffle. It's not quite, I feel like it needs to be a little bit darker, and I'm trying to decide what color from my collection I want to use to darken this up without it going the wrong way. I want to keep it in the warm reds and pinks, but maybe just a little bit of this. That might tie it together. Okay, I'm going to take half of this and mix it with a small amount of this burgundy. I think I need more gray, but I need a darker gray. Okay, I'm going to try. I've got this, I think this is called Slate. This is probably too dark, but I'm going to try just a small amount in and see if that helps. Keep some more in my palette. Okay. Just going to blend again. Sometimes there's a lot of color mixing to get the right effect. So this slate was a little bit too cool, and it's adjusted the mix in a way I don't quite like. So I'm going to separate this one again in half, and I'm going to add some of this golden color back in. Ooh, that's probably the wrong choice. Now it's too warm. This is a bit of a tricky color. I'm going to try some of this color mixed in. I think this is pretty close, actually. I'm probably going to regret the fact that I have such a small piece. I tend to underestimate how much I need. So there's a lot of colors mixed in here now, but it's very, yep. When I hold it against my image, I'm very happy with that color. So I'm going to use this one sparingly now. And this color that we've mixed is it's in his forehead area. Not in the shadows, but I am going to use it to overlay against the shadow areas. And it'll help tie everything together. because there's a lot of grays mixed into there, it'll help tone down some of the hard contrast in some of the areas that we've put it down in. Oops. Now I feel like I want to put some of this in his nose here to help bring it all together. I'm going to put some along here as well, but I'm going to layer over top something else to warm it up because I don't want it to be too toned down right here. Okay, so this one here, this little shadow of his wrinkles that I put in earlier, it's coming too far into his forehead, so I'm adjusting it over here. I want to make this wrinkle a little bit darker. So I'm just mixing a couple fibers of red and brown mix. There we go, that's pretty good. Now, this purple that I put here, I think should be a little bit more orange. So, I think that's this color here. This premix, actually this is, I'm gonna mix this with a little bit more of the orange color. It looks like it's the tan mixed with orange already, but there could be some of the golden in here, so I'm just adjusting it. I'm just gonna start up higher and bringing it down into the nose. Put more as I go lower down. Tiny bit of There we go. So now I need to get a little bit along here. I think that's actually starting a little lower. It should be up higher here. This needs to be a little lower here. Okay, I need to put something here. I'm gonna try this mixed color here. The nice thing, once I've got all of these kind of base colors mixed up, and I only need tiny bits at a time, then I can keep using them throughout different spots. It starts tying everything together. So now start putting some highlights on. I feel like this whole thing is too dark. I need to lighten it. I'm going to use this golden color. So this is their base color. I don't like that either. Maybe I'm going to mix these two. Use my double needle here because I want to keep them spread out. Yeah, we'll use this one. No, I'm not saying a whole lot right now. I have to remind myself to talk more. I'm not very happy with this at all. Do I sound like a broken record? I think I said that every day so far. So all I'm doing right now is just trying to make my shadow a little bit more clearly defined just through needling. So I'm just gonna come back up to the top here, and I'm hopeful that if I just work a little bit along here, then the changes that I need to make down here will kind of come to me. Need more highlight along here. Oops. I have to step back and look at it from afar to take in what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm going to take whatever this color that I have mixed an abundance of and mix it with some of this brown. Maybe a little bit more brown. No, that should be fine. So I'm doing this because I think I might have got a little carried away with my shadow purples. Nope, that needs more brown after all. So I add a little bit more chocolate. Actually, that's not chocolate. That's just a mix. It has chocolate in it. So I'm just going along the top edge here to begin with of his head. Blending it into his ear for now. I'm going to take this off here. It's whatever I put on here. This is the wrong color. It's too pale. Maybe I'll just take some of this gold and put it right on top. Ah, this here. This is too dark. I've brought my my shadow too far in, so I'm going to cover much of this up with some golden and try and get a little bit more control there. Just fixing the color of this little shadow here. Oops. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of this golden base color, a little bit of this tan, and this is that pale yellow. I'm just going to use up whatever that is too. I'm blending these together with the intention of starting to lighten up that area here, and probably into there as well. Okay, that's a pretty good mix. This is too thick. So I'm going to try and just... So there's two ways you can adjust when you've got something too thick. You can layer something over top, or you can just try and needle the line thinner. I think I'm getting a little closer to what I want. I'm going to try and bring this overlap here. Onto the ear. Now I need to make this color quite a bit thicker to overlap over the ear, the brown from the ear. So I have to, I'm gonna build this up in layers. You could just take a big chunk and put it down, but I like working in smaller pieces and building them up. Here we go. I need to lighten it up with some of this. Nope, some of this. Yeah, so this is very pale tan with some much darker fibers through it. I want to have the contrast so it actually looks like hairs where I'm putting it here. So that's not bad. So now what I'm doing is I'm getting, they're short. So I took a piece of the same one that I'm working on, and I pulled them apart short, because what I want to do is actually look like some hairs are overlapping. I actually want them to be loose and blendy while being short to make it look like hairs are going upwards. You can use scissors. Sometimes I do. I didn't today. And then it just starts looking like hair over there. I take a tiny bit of this brown golden mix. Just to layer along the edge here. And this is our pale purple tan mix to go right along the edge of that dark line. I'm trying to decide what I need to put. Maybe I'll just go with the brown. Oftentimes I'm just not happy with what I'm working on. Usually, well, I guess until the end, because then why would I keep working on it if I'm happy with it? So much adjusting, thinking, and deciding what I want to do next. So right in here, it feels like this part needs to come in and over a bit to make this a little bit more clearly defined. In the picture, it looks kind of an orange color, but I don't think if adding orange is the right idea. Maybe just a little bit. And some more on this side of the line as well. Yeah, that's a little better. want to make this actually look like it's got some shape to it. I need to tone down the inner part of this shadow here to help support that shape a bit better. I'm just trying to, again, define the shape a little bit better here. That's better. I want to try and use up some of these random piles that I have here. And I need to darken, so this needs to be darker and a little bit more orange right there. So I think this is a good color to start with. I'm not going to go too orange yet. And I'm going to add in this orange to the mix. This bugs me. I'm going to have to come back and fix that later. But I'm not going to let it bug me too much right now. Start adding some of this orange here, our little orange mix. Now it does an interesting shape where it kind of comes up into the ear that we laid down the other day. It's just a dark bit here. I'm going to put that in. so I think I need this to be a little more red, orangey color. And a tiny bit darker. I'm going to split this in half because the top part looks a bit lighter and this part looks a bit darker. So I'm just going to start with the darker part. Okay, now I'm going to take this mix and I'm going to layer it a little higher than where it actually ends, just so that I have lots of color to layer a lighter variety over top of. So here's the other half of that that's not light, and I'm going to take a small amount of that piece. I'm very bad at keeping track of what the names are. Okay, and now we're just going to lay this top. I made a mistake. It's only supposed to come to here. That's better. Shape-wise anyway. You still need to get this lighter and this darker. So I'm going to take my dark color and I'm just going to layer it over top. It almost blends into the ear anyway, so this will work. Okay, and I'm just going to take a tiny amount of this. This is what we mixed earlier in. It's not enough, so I need to put a little bit more down. Okay, that's all right. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do here. I just want to felt down the base better here. It makes it easier when you need to layer more on top to have a solid base without you know, flyaway hairs, hairs that are trying to kind of decide where they want to be. This is a Clover tool, Clover 3-pen tool. So I can try and fix what I've done here. Just going to take a small amount of this pale color. Yeah, this line here is too dark, so I'm trying to tone it down with a bright tan. Okay. That's better. All right, I'm getting a little bit happier. That's getting a bit better. Apparently my dog is down here and has been down here the whole time, but he's been so quiet I didn't know. I can hear him just making some noise over in the corner. Oh, now he's making a lot of noise. Okay, so now, not super thrilled with all of this yet, but I'm going to take a step away from it and I'm going to work on this over here. A lot of times just like stepping away from it helps to figure out what it is you need to do. So I'm going to be a little bit more loose about painting in some of these details over here. They're much less defined details than what we had in the wrinkles on his forehead. So now I'm just going to start laying out, just loosely, where I think some color should go. This is where I'm going to start using some of the mixes that I've already established. This is where some of the little pale purples come in. It's not bad. This is just kind of to establish some, I want to be able to see the flow of the hairs because there's a lot of tiny little details. And you could go in and try and lay out all the hairs individually, but I find that that just takes forever. And I'm not down for that. Oh, I want some more purple up in here. In a lot of these, I'm probably going to go back over with golden again. But for now, I'm just trying to get the base effect in place. Need something up here. Maybe this one. Need to make it a little darker right here. So now I'm just going to go in and felt down all these colors. I have to be very careful to go straight down so I don't disturb them too much from where I've loosely placed them. I'll be able to adjust them a little bit after I've got them felted in. There's a lot to fix on this still. Okay, so now I'm just going to start layering in, not even layering in, painting in, I guess, small amounts following the direction of the hair growth. So what I'm trying to do here is there's some highlights right along here. They go in this outward direction, and then it's a hard edge of dark right along the eye here, which I need to darken that up. But I'm trying to get this highlights in. This part's going to take quite a long time, I think. I'm going to put a little bit of the dark that I just talked about right along here. So what I think I'm going to need to do is clearly define, clearly choose what colors I need throughout all his cheek. There's going to be a lot of layering here. So this right along this little triangle is a little more golden color. Got two scraps that are very close to the same color. I'm going to mix them together. So now I'm going to take a little bit that's kind of spread out and layer it over top of it here. I don't like what I did. I thought doing it in the opposite direction might help blend it a bit better, but it is not. So I'm just going to go back over top. That's not bad. It's going to take a while to go and work my way all the way through. I'm just going to finish a little bit more here, and then I think probably this will be a good spot for me to stop today. Sitting for too long in one session, I find can, it kind of hinders my progress. I need that time in between the sessions where I'm just walking past the painting and I see it sitting there and I kind of contemplate what changes are needed. And then that way when I come back and sit down to work on it, I have a better idea of what I need to do. I have many ideas of what I need to do to fix his ears, but I was excited to get started on his head, and it's not the best progress. But it's starting to come along, and I believe if I keep working through it, I will get it fixed. It just takes time. And yet I hear picking up another color to try. Alright, so it's a pretty ugly stage that I'm leaving it in, but we've made some, some decent progress in some areas. It needs more time. It's just going to take more time to go through and get everything done. Alright, I'm going to wrap it up here. I think this is a good spot for me to stop. There's lots more still to work on, and we'll continue along next time. So thank you for sitting with me today, and we will see you again next time. Bye!